Hi, this is Robert Bortins, CEO of Classical Conversations, and I'm so excited to be here today with Sheila Jones. She is serving as the Director of Academic Alliances, working closely with homeschool groups around the nation within her Grand Canyon University Alpha program. She spent previous years in the admissions at GCU, as well as supplementing education by founding a private tutoring company in the state of Arizona. She completed her master's degree in leadership at Grand Canyon University, and she hopes to learn more about how she can glorify the Lord through her opportunities as a servant leader. She adores working and advocating for homeschool groups and hopes to have a hand in furthering their opportunities for growth through GCU. So, Sheila, thank you so much for joining us today. And can you share a little bit more about yourself and why you love Grand Canyon University?
Yeah, I actually got to know Grand Canyon University through my tutoring company that I owned. And we would hire kids from different universities. And every time we hired anyone or from GCU, the kids were just different. I could trust them in home with my families, their vocabulary, what they were wearing. I just knew that I was going to have a high quality, high caliber tutor when I had my company. So that's how I sort of got into it. At one point, I was just ready to sort of stop wearing all the hats with my company. So I sold it and applied at GC right away. So I started in admissions. And since I was a mom and a little bit older than the majority of the admissions counselors, they're like, we're going to put you with our homeschool families. And I was like, okay. So that's kind of how it all got started.
Awesome. Now, Grand Canyon University's in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Is that correct?
Yep, it's in Phoenix. We've been started in 1949, so we've been around for a long time, but it wasn't until maybe the past 10 years that we really started our growth. And it's just been an incredible journey, a lot of fun to watch all the changes and see the good that God's doing on our campus. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful campus. I've not done the full tour, but about 7 years ago, I was able to drive by and see some of it. And I'm sure you guys have put up additional buildings and things like that. But what is Grand Canyon University known for? I know you guys are a Christian school, so that's awesome and private. But what type of degrees do you offer, and or what are your popular degrees and things like that?
yeah, that's a great question. We were sort of founded on teachers and preachers. But since like the last 10 years or so, I believe we have over 250 programs. We have an on-campus modality and an online modality. We have anything from engineering to a really robust business program. We have fine arts. We sort of have a little bit of everything. And we're really particular about making sure that we have degrees that have jobs at the end of them. So you'll find more, businessy type of things that we have. But also our engineering, we're really proud of just because it has a Christian perspective, which is kind of hard to find sometimes in science. So we're really proud of that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think paying back those student loans is always on people's minds, but I think Grand Canyon University gave what $150 million in student aid, I believe last year. I was reading, and then I know that a lot of times with different opportunities students have, it can be cheaper than maybe even your in-state school. So, tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about what opportunities for scholarship there are for students who might be thinking about attending your great university.
Yeah, scholarships at GCU, we do them off of GPA, ACT, or SAT. So whichever's the highest is what we choose from. We also super score. And for our homeschool families, I think this year, if you had a 4.0 or better, it was about 10,000, almost $10,000 scholarship. And all the scholarships that you come in with are renewable. So basically what you come in with is the same budget sheet that you're going to have each year. A little bit different at GCU. We're a little more expensive maybe the first year than the rest, which is sort of opposite because a lot of our kids get involved in life groups, and they lead Bible studies and things like that on campus. So technically some of their next few years, if they get connected, will be way cheaper even then. So we're pretty proud that we're, very similar to the state universities. We have quite low fees. Parking was like $100 a year, just
Wow.
very low fees. And beautiful brand new dorms, a lot of really wonderful things that have come along with that. So
Awesome. And what do you have any classical conversation students at GCU? And what attracts you guys to a student who might have a classical conversations education?
we do. We actually are quite proud to have these kids on our campus. Homeschool as a whole, I used to kind of sit in the background, and GCU didn't totally understand homeschool, but they track everything, metrics, and the homeschoolers just kept rising up through the metrics. And then they're finally like, Sheila, like these kids are incredible. They didn't really understand the mom made transcript initially, but now we're like, oh yeah, we'll take that all day, because we know that these kids most often have done above and beyond what the other school kids have done. And then the classical conversations rigor is just out of this world. So these kids come and they're just like, oh, college? Like, I've been doing that for like 2 years now. It's fine. I got it. So we love these classical conversations kids. They just adapt well. It's not the anti-school, anti-social world it used to be. These kids are just highly integrated in our university and very well connected. They're super social and fun. And it's not like, what some people would picture a homeschooler to be. It's actually quite an honor to have these kids at our school. We love them.
That's awesome to hear. I know that moms and dads are always nervous about, can my kid get into college, and then will they be successful if they are? But it sounds like the science, the metrics behind it have shown to you guys that homeschoolers are have a worthy education and are a value add at your school. What do you like as a prospective parent? You don't have, may not have had a kid go to college yet, like sophomore, junior, senior year, like what are these homeschooling parents, what should they be doing to ready themselves and their student for college? And when should they take college visits and start thinking
Yeah.
about transcripts and all of those things?
That's an awesome question. Actually, I had a mom the other day and inquire, and I was like, oh, we have homeschool specific admissions counselors. So I sent it over to one of them, and she's like, oh, they're not going to come till 2026.
Oh.
I was like, that's how they are. They're just very well prepared. And I think that's, it's the best way to go. And with you guys, with your CC Plus program and how easily they can get started getting their college credits early to help save money. It's just a no-brainer. And, for kids that sign on early, there's extra scholarships. And so it definitely behooves the parents to start early and just sort of dip their toes in. So it's not like, I get kids that are coming their senior year and the parents are just like, about everything. They're just a little deer in the headlight look. So I get a lot less of that when they start a little bit earlier, and we're happy to help. Like, I have families, like I said, that come in middle school and they're already planning. So it definitely makes sense for, parents, especially if it's a little out of their comfort zone, to get connected, whether through you guys or through university specific that they're interested in. We love it, so we're fine with that. I'm hoping other universities are as welcoming to the newbies as we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love how you mentioned CC Plus, and for those of you who don't know, we've recently come to agreement with Grand Canyon on a matriculation agreement for those who take the CC Plus courses. And I think my understanding of that is basically if they take the courses that you guys will guarantee their recognition if they come to your university. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. Yep, we love it. I'm really thankful that we were able to work through that and get that all figured out. I imagine there'll be more as you guys grow and we grow with you. I'm guessing that'll just be something you'll continue to see. So there's just a lot of opportunity, and I'm always telling parents to dive into things like this because college can be pricey and less deer in the headlights when you can get a year or two out of the way by just planning ahead. And most of the homeschool kids are ready for it. A lot of senior year and freshman year have a lot of overlap, so it just makes sense to get as much of that kind of fast forward as you can just to be prepared. So
Awesome. And real quick, we mentioned and talked about scholarships earlier. Do they need to apply for specific ones, or do you guys look at their transcript and automatically register for them? How does that work at your
Yeah,
school?
that's a great question. They do both. So we have automatic ones that they can automatically get through their GPA or ACT or SAT. And then we have, say they want to be in the engineering college. There's extra scholarships for specific degrees like that. And then, Alpha specific, we have some connections with some classical conversations in different areas like Arizona and Alaska, just kind of randomly. And I'm guessing that will grow, but that'll give an extra scholarship as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, great question.
That is good. Well, thank you so much for your time. Like, what is one thing the audience might not know about Grand Canyon University that you'd like to share with them today?
Yeah, I would say one of my most favorite things, as I said, we study everything. Metrics are a big deal at GCU. And after every course, the kids have an end of course survey, and we ask them an array of questions. But one of the questions that we ask them is, do you feel like you've grown in your faith while either taking this class or being at GCU? And in a time, in a world where a lot of college kids are losing their faith, I can't remember the exact number, but it was above 70% of the kids answered that yes, they felt like they grew in their faith
That's awesome.
while at GCU. So that's a really big piece of our mission. Jesus is cool on our campus, so it's a little bit different than some other maybe state universities where you have to seek him out. And here it's just all over, and you're like trying to just, okay, where do I want to pray for people? Do I want to be a part of missions? It's just around you, and it's easier to really grow in your faith at GCU with our community.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's such a big need today. And Christian parents, especially homeschool Christians parents, so much of their time is spent trying to grow these children in the way they should go, and then they give them over to the Romans for college, and then they come back as people that they don't recognize anymore, and they've spent all this effort and it's gone to waste. And so I definitely encourage all families to look for a Christian education because their soul may be depending on it. And
yeah, I tell families, so many moms and dads give up homeschool in high school, and I'm like, this is not the time. Like, this is not like, you just did all this hard work, and where they're so impressionable. It's such a big time of their life, and I just keep it going a little bit longer. Just keep it going, don't give up. So I'm a big cheerleader for these parents.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate you so much, and have a great day, and God bless. Have a good day, Classical Conversations. All right.